I'm running for to be the voice of the people, my constituents. This would be the second term in a row that they hopefully elect me, and um, knowing the decisions that I trust the decisions that I make up at the council. I know a lot of the other council members, trust that I'm going to do the right thing. My people, the constituents in my ward, uh, by the show of their votes, uh, you know, trust that I'm doing the right decisions. I'm making the right decisions for them, and that in itself is my motivator. Because someday my kids will be my constituents. And that's the neighborhoods that we're promoting and making a better, safer place to live is where my kids are raised, where your kids are raised, where, you know, um, the streets that, my neighbors walk home from work, you know, it's, that's, uh, that's big, you don't have to be in it for anything other than the fact that you're making good decisions for your community.
Into the next term, what do you think is going to be the biggest issue before the Common Council?
Well, given that it's a mayoral year, you never know what's going to get shaken up uptown. So things could pop up, but what I see on the horizon is continuing to keep our spending under control, but also fighting blight. Fighting blight is one of those things. It didn't just come overnight. So it's not going to be a one legislation swing to get rid of it. And with blight is like neighborhood cancer. You gotta stop. You gotta get it into remission. You gotta fight it head on, because blight is what's deteriorating our neighborhoods. It's at its core. It's coming from certain social issues that are that people aren't willing to address, and we have to address it in order for us to stabilize property values as well as entice businesses to come to our area. The more businesses that we have, the more jobs we have. Factories are awesome. They're mom and pop shops are great. They employ some people, but getting the big factories to come in and say, look how nice and quaint that little town, that little city is, that we can move people into this area, and the productivity is going to be high because there's things for them to do after work. They can go running on a trail. They can go play pickleball down at Oak Hill Park. There's there might be a dog park coming into Olean that has been brought up for discussion. They could take their dog for a walk and go, mingle with their neighbors and chit chat, and try to bring more of a community back to the area. So I think it all goes hand in hand. And step one is, teaming up with our neighbors to help fight blight.
Looking ahead to the DRI, the
Sure.
grant the city received, what are your hopes for that?
Well, the governor is confident that he gives us 10 million. Well, he gives this area 10 million, and it'll spur a match of $40 million in private sector. I do think that's great. That's an incentive for people to reinvest into our community. Which would also go to, leading into the question I just answered is, the blight isn't just physical deterioration of homes and buildings. It isn't just that. There's a lot of social norms that have caused that, but fixing up dilapidated and blighted buildings is a hell of a start. To have ideas and bring those things like I just discussed as well, like jobs to this area, because there is, a local farmer's market or a downtown theater or, something else for people to say, hey, I was traveling through this nice little city and, we were able to do this, this, and that. We stopped at a farmer's market, that was, nice and quaint, downtown, local produce, things like that. That's key into going hand in hand with the fighting blight and bringing more jobs to our area. So I foresee it being good. I'm excited to see some of the RFPs coming in.
What are you hoping that the council is able to do as far as balancing the need for programs, but also the need for fiscal responsibility?
The part of what makes the budget so complicated is it's not, the council can vote yay or nay on a budget. we can provide comments and suggestions, but it's the executive branch of government that is what brings the budget to us. So the mayor's office proposes a budget to us, and then we say yay or nay, or say, can you tweak this? And if they can say no, and then we just shoot down the current budget. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. It is a team effort. I know last year, Bill was very anxious on having us work together with, with his offices and his department heads to see what their needs were. But also the issue is, sometimes people get really complacent with, we've always had this and we've always had that. Well, sometimes you have to make cuts in order to remain solvent. We gotta, the city's gotta stay afloat. And, so sometimes you don't get to get a new snowplow this year, things like that. And so it always becomes we are usually pretty good at reading the line items off and figuring out what makes up these budgets and, how we can give advice to, the mayor's office to make adjustments. But inevitably it's the mayor's office's call on what they're going to present to us. Our goal is to not, is to have a budget, because nobody wants to go into emergency crisis mode. So.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to add, or you feel is pertinent to bring up at this point?
One of the things that I've always noticed is that more people being aware that they need to register to vote. Because you go door to door and a lot of people, they just don't register, and then they gripe and complain on social media that that they don't like this, they don't like that, but they didn't vote. The other side of the coin is that I would also invite people to look at the city website, get contact information for each and every one of their alderman or another alderman. We're all 7 of us are here to answer questions and to find answers to problems that people are having, and a lot of people don't take advantage of that. So before it starts, emerging on social media, a lot of times a lot of these basic issues can be nipped in the bud by a simple phone call, instead of And I get people need to have their creative outlet, their ability to blow up and just have a speak their piece. But we're here. My phone's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that's the phone you find on the city website. Call me up and I'll answer your questions. So I encourage people to make those phone calls instead of just getting angry, frustrated, upset, and also registering to vote, so that you have the ability to make choices, like saying, I like what that guy's saying, I'm going to vote for him. Don't like what that person's saying, I'm not going to vote for that person.